Hi, this is Jeff Mesnick. I'm here with the Channel Marketing Journal, and I'm excited to be here today with Gary Coben. He is the Senior Vice President of Channel Services for Evolve IP. How are you today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
So, your title, Senior Vice President, Channel Services. A lot of people have different titles that sometimes mean the same things, some things mean different things. So, I was wondering if you can give us like an elevator pitch of who Evolve IP is and then share with us what your title really means to you.
Sure. And thanks again for having us here. So, first of all, anytime they give you the title Senior Vice President, it just means you're old. And I've been here going on 11 years now. And you know you're old when your daughter works for the same company that you do. Any event, of course, Evolve IP is a pure play channel services company. We are both a cloud communications and a cloud computing company. So we deliver all things cloud to customers that are looking to move to the as a service business model. Um, Back in 2000 and I want to say 17, what we decided to do is divide um, sort of our channel development structure from the actual channel sales structure. I'm responsible for the former, the channel development side. So
Mm-hmm.
with me and my team of great marketers, we put the programs together for the partners, and then we've got some other executives here that actually manage the people that are responsible for going out and seeing the individual partners.
Okay, great. So prior to the recording that I just started, you and I were kind of talking back and forth, and one of the things that hit me, is when you went to develop your program, it seems like you insisted on having ensuring that you had a very strong structure to set expectations. Maybe you can share a little bit about that with our audience as to kind of why you did that, what that means for you, and how the partners are become successful because of it.
Sure. Well, if you think about it, the cornerstone of any sort of cloud services, managed services company is that people are requiring our services, right, on a monthly recurring basis. And the people that sell those services are independent partners that are also trying to build, long-term residual income so that someday in the future they're not going to have to hunt to eat, just like you would be if you were selling hardware and those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
So when we built the channel, we set out to create a structure that had a cadence that was very very similar to our business model and the business model of the partners. So we work very diligently to make sure that we've got a really strong cadence of, information that we put out to the channel through our newsletter, through our value add pieces, through our training programs, and that we do it on a very very consistent basis. And I think I think people have come to expect that from us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Keeps them, keeps us very relevant and top of mind for our partners.
So one of the things we also talked about is I was at the last year the Cloud Summit for Ingram Micro, and one of the bigger challenges they talked about was what you mentioned: the short money versus the long money.
You bet.
So maybe you could kind of share kind of what you see out there as how are you kind of keeping that annuity idea in front of the partners?
Well, it's been interesting because over the last couple of years, the referred to as tips and the incentives and the short money programs have gotten not out of control per se, but they've gotten to be where they could take away the primary reason that people decided, not me, by the way,
Yeah.
the primary reason that people said, you know what, I'm not going to work in corporate America anymore. I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to put it all on the line, and I'm going to build this long-term monthly recurring revenue, um, so that someday, I'll have built up an annuity and I can, and I can continue to earn without having to put myself on the line every month. So, there's balance between what the original intent was of being a partner. One of the things that we have to warn partners about all the time is don't chase the short money. Because if you chase the short money, you're going to end up doing things that are bad for your customer. If you always do what's right for your customer, right, everything's going to work out for you in the end. And
Right.
we think that message really makes a lot of sense to our partners.
And with that, so you have, like you mentioned, the incentive program is kind of getting going off the rails a little bit, and that's more on the short-term deals. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's listen. We participate in it.
Yeah.
We like to make sure that our partners understand that you know um, one of the prerequisites um, to taking advantage of our incentive program is to make sure that we get exposure to the client, right?
Right.
We are just not in the business. Cloud services are just too complicated to be in the quoting game. So, in order to qualify for the spiffs and the incentives, in addition to the long money that we talked about, is we really are pushing our partners to engage us with the customer because we know that we'll win 1 out of 3 when we're engaged and 1 out of 20 when we're not.
Right. Absolutely. Well, this is great. So I love the fact that you have this structure. I love the fact that you're really trying to work with the partners to think through the long-term strategy of the annuity business, which you're right. I mean, the more we can get this annuity going, the more solid everybody's business becomes.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting just to add to that.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that partners they made a decision however many years ago that this was the way that they wanted their life to go. Okay.
Right.
Um, Maybe it's me and you that I want health insurance.
Right.
I'm not that. I want the salary. But
Yeah.
and I take my hat off every day to the partners that said, "Hey, I understand high risk, high reward, but the reason that you were willing to risk it all was for the long term reward, not necessarily the short term reward." Uh,
Yes.
and it's people always need to make the right decision for the right reasons.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. I appreciate that. So now I want to kind of change gears a little bit. I have a fun question that I like to ask.
Yeah.
People in our roles tend to travel quite a bit. So one of my questions that I'm asking for this year in 2019 is to share stories about your craziest business travel. Like what was something that happened, or maybe something you did that during the business travel that defines that.
Well, it's do I know if it's crazy? Listen, when you're in our role, guess what? You put a lot of road time on. But last year, we made some acquisitions in the UK and Europe, and I got to go over to England a couple of times to run a few events there.
Yeah.
And here's this here's this Philadelphia guy talking to some very refined British people. So there was moments of fun, and there were moments of maybe I shouldn't have said that. But they were great trips. I can tell you one hint I'll give to anybody. If anybody ever asks, where's the best shopping in London?
Yeah.
It's Heathrow, believe it or not. That's where the best deals are.
That's awesome. Yeah, I grew up in New York, so when I talk sometimes to people who are in the Midwest or internationally, I have sometimes a habit of getting myself in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, but you know what, Jeff? At least they know where we're coming from, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, look, this has been great. I really appreciate the time, Gary. And I'd love to circle back with you in a few months, maybe, and we'll kind of see how things have progressed and learn a little bit more from you and do that, if that's okay with you.
That'd be great. I enjoyed this a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this has been Jeff Mesnick with the Channel Marketing Journal. I was here with Gary Coben from Evolve IP. So thank you. Have a great day.
Take care.